Have you ever listened to a track and just thought, wow, how does one guitar player get that sound? Those really rich, layered harmonies.
Yeah, or solos where these complex harmonic lines just seem to appear out of nowhere. Makes you wonder.
Exactly. And often the answer is technology. Clever tech that takes like complex music theory and makes it accessible, makes it creative.
It's like a shortcut almost to getting these sophisticated sounds without needing, years of formal study necessarily.
Right. And today, we're doing a deep dive into a piece of gear that absolutely nails this idea. The TC Electronic Quintessence Harmonizer. This is way more than just your average stomp box. It's like having an intelligent musical partner on your pedal board.
Totally. And that's why it's worth digging into. It's this fascinating blend of, well, music theory smarts and digital technology. We're talking about a pedal that generates musically correct intervals automatically. Plus, it offers some really deep customization. It's a serious tool.
So our mission here is to unpack how the Quintessence came about, what makes it tick, the core tech, and the impact it's had. Get ready for some aha moments, because it really shows how complex ideas can become these powerful, intuitive tools for musicians. Okay, let's dive in. So the Quintessence Harmonizer, it popped up in 2017, right?
That's right. 2017, it was part of TC Electronics, their next-gen intelligent pitch pedal lineup. They had already had success with pedals like the sub-N up octaver, so this was building on that foundation.
But it was clearly meant to be something
Yeah.
more, a step up.
Exactly. And that's a really key point. This isn't just a simple pitch shifter, the kind that just moves everything up or down by a fixed amount regardless of key. The Quintessence is a harmonizer. A proper one, meaning it's designed to generate musically correct intervals. So you tell it the key, you tell it the scale, C major, A minor, whatever, and it figures out the right harmony note. So if you play a C in C major and ask for a third up, it gives you an E natural, the correct major third, not an ebb, which a basic shifter might just blindly do. Ah, okay. That musical intelligence is baked right in.
Right at the core. It understands the context.
Now, it wasn't the only harmony game in town, was it? There were others.
Oh, definitely not. You had competitors like the Boss PS6 Harmonist, which is a solid pedal.
And the Digitech Whammy, of course. That's iconic.
Absolutely. The Whammy is legendary. But the Quintessence came in with this slightly different angle. Its unique selling point, really, was that stronger focus on music theory-driven harmony. It was less about dive bombs and more about musically coherent voices.
Which kind of makes you ask, why that focus? Why lean so heavily into the theory side?
It suggests a very specific design philosophy, doesn't it? Aiming for maybe a more sophisticated result, targeting players who wanted more than just a cool effect. They wanted something musically intelligent.
That makes sense. So let's get into the nuts and bolts. What's under the hood? What's the tech making this intelligent harmony happen?
Okay, so there are really two key pieces working together inside. First, you've got sophisticated polyphonic pitch shifting. Polyphonic meaning it can handle chords, not just single notes.
Exactly. And that's a big deal. It uses powerful DSP digital signal processing to accurately track all the notes in a chord simultaneously. That's computationally pretty intensive.
Right. Much harder than just tracking one note.
Way harder. And second, building on that, is the intelligent harmony engine. This is where the music theory lives, so to speak. You select the key, you select the scale, major, minor, Dorian, Mixolydian, all those flavors.
Lots of options there.
Yeah, plenty. And based on your selections, the engine automatically generates the correct harmonic intervals for whatever notes or chords you play into it. It's like having a little theory expert inside the pedal, constantly figuring out the right notes for you.
Okay, now here's something I find really interesting. The mash technology. That foot switch isn't just on-off, is it?
No, not at all. That's a signature TC electronic thing. The mash foot switch doubles as a pressure-sensitive expression controller.
So the harder you press.
The more you affect a parameter. With the Quintessence, you can use it for real-time pitch bending of the harmony note or smoothly morphing between different intervals.
Wow. So you can add expression just with your foot pressure while you're playing.
Exactly. Imagine holding a chord and then subtly bending the harmony note up or down just by leaning into the switch. It adds this really cool dynamic layer to your performance, much more integrated than reaching for a separate expression pedal sometimes.
Very cool. And looking at the knobs on the pedal itself, it seems pretty intuitive.
Yeah, they laid it out logically. You've got the key selector, nice big knob to pick your root note, easy.
Then the scale selector next to it, major, minor, those modes you mentioned.
Dorian, Mixolydian, Lydian, Phrygian. A good selection covering common ground and some more colorful options.
And then the harmony selector.
That chooses the interval. Like, do you want a third above, a fifth below, a sixth above? You dial that in there.
Simple enough. And then standard mix and tone controls.
Yep. Mix blends your original dry signal with the generated harmony, so you can go from subtle thickening to full-on dual guitar sounds, and tone shapes the EQ of the harmony voice, making sure it sits right.
So those controls give you a lot right there on the pedal. Quick changes between songs seem pretty easy.
Totally. Switching keys or harmony types live is straightforward, but in the studio you can obviously spend more time dialing in the perfect blend and tone. It balances immediacy with depth.
Okay, but what if the built-in scales and intervals aren't enough? What if you want something custom? That's where tone print comes in, right?
Yes, tone print. That's TC Electronic's secret weapon across many of their pedals, and it takes the Quintessence to a whole other level.
Explain that for people who might not know. It's an app or software.
Both. It's an app for your phone or tablet and also a computer editor, and it lets you connect to the pedal, usually via USB or even beaming from your phone's pickup, and completely customize its inner workings.
Customize how?
Deeply. With the Quintessence, you can use the tone print editor to design your own custom scales. You're not limited to major, minor, etc. You could create, I don't know, a Hungarian minor scale, or something completely unique.
Well, okay.
You can define specific intervals for each step of the scale, maybe even microtonal stuff if you want to get really experimental. You can tweak how the mash switch responds, assign it to different parameters. It opens up a massive playground.
So you can go way beyond the factory settings.
Oh, absolutely. Far beyond. It turns the pedal from a device with fixed options into something truly programmable.
And they're also artist tone prints. Presets from pros.
Yeah, that's the other side of tone print. Famous guitarists, Paul Gilbert, Guthrie Govan, many others, create their own custom settings for TC pedals, including the Quintessence. And you can just browse the app and beam their signature sounds directly into your pedal. Instant access to Pro Tones.
That's pretty cool. A nice shortcut if you don't want to dive into the deep editing yourself.
Exactly. It caters to both the tweakers and those who just want great sounds quickly. But the key thing tone print does, it really changes the definition of what a pedal is. It's not just hardware anymore. It's hardware plus this evolving software ecosystem.
Though I guess for some players, that level of customization could almost be too much. Like, where do you even start?
That's a fair point. It can be a bit of a rabbit hole if you're not careful. Some players prefer simplicity, knobs only, but for those who embrace it, the creative potential is huge.
Okay, let's place this pedal in time. So 2017 launch, and it's still current. Full-size box, not a mini pedal.
Right. A sturdy, full-size stomp box. And importantly, it has stereo inputs and outputs.
Ah, good point. So you can use it with stereo rigs for wider sounds.
Precisely. Essential for certain setups. And as we've covered, the deep tone print editing and the mash switch are key parts of the package.
Had there been different versions, a Quintessence Mini or anything?
Nope. Not so far, just the one main version. But TC Electronic does provide ongoing support through firmware updates, delivered via tone print.
So you can update the pedal's brain, basically. Add features or fix bugs.
Exactly. Even though the hardware hasn't changed, they can refine its performance or potentially add new scale types or features through software updates. Keeps it fresh.
So who's actually using this thing? We know it's powerful, but where does it show up in the real world? Any notable players?
Yeah, it's found a home with quite a diverse range of musicians. You see it a lot with progressive metal and rock players.
Makes sense for those intricate, harmonized lead lines.
Absolutely. Think about creating those tight twin guitar harmonies without needing a second guitarist, or thickening up complex riffs. It nails that sort of sound.
Who else?
Session players seem to really appreciate it too. You know, guys who need to walk into a studio and instantly adapt to different songs, different keys, different styles.
Because it's so quick to change keys and scales.
Exactly. That adaptability is gold for them. Saves time, gets the job done musically. And then naturally, you have experimental musicians.
Using tone print to cook up crazy stuff.
You got it. Designing non-standard scales, microtonal harmonies, really pushing the boundaries of pitch. Tone print is like a blank canvas for them.
So it really spans from practical session work to pretty out-there experimentation.
Yeah, it connects back to those core strengths. The intelligent harmony, the flexibility, and that deep customization.
Okay, let's pull back a bit. What's the overall impact? Where does the Quintessence sit in the grand scheme of harmonizer pedals? What's its legacy shaping up to be?
Well, I think it's fair to say it's considered one of the most advanced compact harmonizers out there. Maybe the most advanced in some ways.
Why? What gives it that status?
It's that combination. The intelligent, scale-aware harmonization, which is really quite sophisticated, paired with the almost limitless customization offered by TonePrint. Not many pedals offer both of those things at this level in one box.
And the mash foot switch, we should mention that again. Still pretty unique.
Definitely. That pressure-sensitive expression integrated right into the main switch was, and still is, quite forward-thinking.
Right.
It adds that performance dynamic you don't get elsewhere quite like that.
It feels like TC Electronic deliberately carved out a specific niche here, didn't they?
I think so. If you look at the bigger picture, its strong focus on music theory integration really set it apart. It wasn't trying to be another Digitech whammy, which often has more of that raw rock and roll, sometimes glitchy pitch shifting vibe, which is cool in its own right.
Right, different flavors.
Exactly. The Quintessence aimed for something more musically precise, sophisticated. It appealed to players who really valued harmonically correct intervals and that intelligent behavior. It's for the player who wants the harmony to sound right musically.
So, summing it all up, TC Electronic Quintessence Harmonizer. It's smart, it tracks polyphonically, chords included, gives you theory-based harmonies, and lets you customize everything via TonePrint.
Plus the mash switch for expression. It really encapsulates TC's strength, bringing studio-level DSP power into a creative, performance-friendly pedal format.
We've touched on that smart harmony engine, the mash switch adding expression, and TonePrint opening the floodgates for customization. It really builds on TC's legacy.
For sure, and its legacy, I think, is being one of the most versatile and, well, thoughtful harmonizers available. It gives you a shortcut to complex, musically appropriate harmonies. You don't have to manually map out every note. The pedal does the heavy lifting based on the musical rules you give it. It frees you up to just play.
So as we wrap this up, here's a thought to leave you with. We've seen how the Quintessence uses intelligence to create harmony. What's next? Imagine a future where your gear doesn't just react to what you play, but maybe anticipates your musical ideas, learns your style.
Like an AI musical partner.
Maybe. Suggesting harmonies, guiding you towards new sounds. What kind of music could that unlock? What new ways of creating might emerge?
That's fascinating to think about. The Quintessence definitely feels like a step on that road, bridging technology and musical intuition in a really compelling way.